You were taught that you need to learn a bunch of complicated, even ridiculous techniques to make your dreams come true. Writing down positive thoughts for days on end, looking in the mirror and repeating affirmations, making wish boards, or repeating the same meditation every morning. But no one told you this simple yet revolutionary truth. It's not about the techniques you use. It's about who you are. What creates your reality is the state you carry within you. Your vibration, or energetic frequency, is far more powerful than your thoughts or words. You can tell the universe what you want, but the universe senses who you are, and it responds to you based on who you are. That's why it's not what you want, but who you are that determines what you experience. Because you attract not what is in your life, but who you are. Your external world is a mirror of your inner state, and what most deeply influences this inner state is your subconscious. Those deep mental programs that govern you every day, but which you are often unaware of. Beliefs from the past, especially those formed in childhood, govern you without your awareness. Feelings of inadequacy, worthlessness, and insecurity determine your current choices, reactions, and even the people who enter your life. When your conscious mind desires one thing, but your subconscious believes another, your reality always follows the path of your subconscious. That's why you must not only change your thoughts, but also your frequency. Because it is not so much what you think, but the energy you are in that determines reality. This is not a metaphor. It is a natural law you unconsciously apply every day. Just like a radio station, you are tuned to a frequency. And whatever that frequency is, you attract events, emotions, and people that match it into your life. True transformation begins not with new techniques, but with awareness of your inner state. When you change your inner state, the world changes. Because the world you perceive is actually a reflection of yourself. Get ready, because I'm about to explain why certain things keep going wrong in your life, why you can't seem to achieve what you desire, and why it's not your fault, but that you now have the power to change it. Stay with me until the end, because by the end of this video, you will learn how to transform your inner frequency, reprogram your subconscious mind, and raise your vibration to change your reality. And if this message resonates with you already, just write 777 in the comments. This will be a powerful signal to the universe that you're ready for this journey. We all have a desire to go beyond our current circumstances. A better life, more meaningful relationships, abundance, inner peace. It's natural to want these things. But here's the secret. No matter where you are, you can always take the next step. There's no need to wait. There's nothing that requires you to save more money, wait for more time to pass, or wait for the right moment. What's truly needed is for you to decide right now in this very moment and act in alignment with that decision. Because what changes your reality is not external circumstances, it is your internal frequency. Everything in your life corresponds to a frequency level. Thoughts, feelings, beliefs, they all emit a vibration, just like a radio. And this radio only picks up the station that matches the frequency you are on. If you want to attract something at a higher level, you must first rise to that level yourself. But we often make a mistake here. We say, once the kids graduate from school, then I'll start. Once I earn a little more money, then I'll try. I'll do it when I feel more ready. And life passes by, because these thoughts are a reflection of our current state. With our current frequency, we try to attract a higher vibration, but this is impossible. An FM broadcast cannot be received on an AM frequency. No matter how much you want it, if the frequencies don't match, the signal won't come through. That's why desires remain distant, dreams are postponed, and eventually fade away. Your current state is like the yellow line, the frequency level you're at. But if you're on the top line, in that high vibrational state, that's where you want to be. There's peace there, confidence there, abundance there. And to get there, you must first be there mentally, emotionally, and energetically. Whatever your frequency is, that's what you attract. It's not a matter of desire, it's a matter of alignment. Remember this, the universe contains everything right now. Nothing is created, nothing is destroyed. Every possibility already exists. You just need to tune into the same frequency. Then, Doors you couldn't see before will begin to open. And there's one more thing to remember. Your being here right now is the result of every step you've taken, every choice you've made in the past. Now you're at a new decision point that will shape the future. It's time to stop holding yourself back. Start seeing yourself as you want to be, even if you've never been there before. Because this journey doesn't begin when you arrive. It begins right here. Maybe you've never been there before. Maybe that life still feels distant, even unattainable to you. But here's the critical thing. Unless you make that leap in your mind, you'll never reach that level in your physical world. You must choose to live in the life you imagine, not just watch it from afar. Real change begins the moment you dare to imagine yourself there. And one of the most important things here is to recognize the internal state you are currently in. The simplest way to understand this is to honestly examine your thoughts and feelings. What do you think about yourself? How do you feel about life? For example, do you feel valuable, sufficient, loved, and safe? Then you are already on those frequencies. But if you feel worthless, inadequate, or excluded, your frequency is aligned with those feelings. Thoughts and emotions are not just reactions, they are also guides. They both reflect the frequency you are in and can pull you up or down. And here's the secret. You must begin to live as if you already have what you think you lack. You must feel its presence, not its absence. You must remain in that state and carry that energy within your body. Because the moment your energy changes, your reality begins to change as well. This is where certain techniques come into play. Affirmations, visualization, meditation, writing exercises. These are merely tools. But if you use these tools with a consciousness of lack, they will only push you further away. Because with each repetition, you send this message to your mind. This state does not exist in me. And every lack feeling lowers your frequency even further. You should use these techniques to reinforce a state of being, not to suppress a need. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am loved. When you say these things, you must produce not only the words but also the feeling. Otherwise, your words will be an empty echo. But if you can raise that feeling, even a tiny spark from within, you will change your energy field in that moment, and the universe will begin to reflect your changed state. Remember, this is not pretending. This is being. And this state requires belief. That is why belief, or in other words, inner knowing, is the invisible but most powerful component of manifestation. Because belief is being able to say it already happened to something that is not yet visible. Knowing without seeing, feeling without feeling, being able to give thanks without holding back. This is what aligns the vibrations. Gratitude, joy, happiness, and appreciation. These are not just beautiful feelings. They are bridges that raise your energy. They carry you faster to the energy of the state you want to be in. At the same time, other people's stories, testimonials, and examples of success also inspire you on this path. Because seeing someone else succeed sends this message to your subconscious. This is possible for me too. And at that moment, inner change begins. So how do you know that you have truly changed your inner state? The answer lies not in what is happening in your life, but first in what is happening within you. When you shift to a new frequency, the first thing that changes is not the external world, but your response to that world. You notice that you no longer react to the same events in the same way. Things that used to trigger you no longer affect you as much. Instead of getting upset over minor setbacks, you feel a sense of calm within yourself. This is a true sign. Your inner state has begun to change. And this is precisely where the mind wants to return to its old state. Because the subconscious tries to pull you back to the frequency it is accustomed to. This is not you. It whispers. You feel like a stranger because this is not your place. It says. But recognize this voice. This is the resistance of your old self to letting go. You no longer belong there. Because you have now set a higher standard for yourself. And this new standard manifests itself not only in thought but also in behavior. You are no longer the person who puts yourself off. You no longer tolerate those who treat you badly. Instead of wasting time with small-minded people, you turn to sources that nourish you. Your thoughts become clearer, your energy changes, and small things begin to change first. Opportunities that didn't find you before start knocking on your door. The people you encounter change. A natural attraction forms with those who are on the same frequency as you. This is the universe's first response to your transformation. But remember this, staying on this new frequency is as important as reaching it. Because the past continues to call you back. Old habits, old beliefs, even old environments, these try to pull you back down. And here it's not willpower that comes into play, but decision. You must ask yourself, who have I decided to be? And am I living up to that decision every day? Your inner state may not change immediately after making a decision, because your mind is still inclined to repeat old patterns. But as you begin to live a little closer to that new self every day, at some point this new state becomes natural for you. That's when the power of manifestation grows exponentially. Because there is no longer wanting, there is now a state of having. When you feel that you have something, its transformation into reality becomes inevitable. Another thing to keep in mind at this point is that you must experience that state, not only mentally, but also physically and emotionally. If your mind says, I am happy, but your body is still under stress, then real change has not begun. If your mind says, I am abundant, but you feel tight inside, then there is a frequency mismatch. Your feelings must be in sync with your words. In other words, you must be someone who lives it, not just talks about it. This is where daily awareness comes into play. When you wake up in the morning, notice the energy with which you start your day. Control your breathing. Feel the tension in your body. Pay attention to how you talk to yourself. Because all of these things either raise or lower your frequency, and managing this is in your hands. Emotions are temporary, but recognizing their source leads you to profound transformations. Anger, resentment, fear, these are not emotions to be suppressed. They are guides. Each carries the trace of a belief that pulls you away from your frequency. When you find and transform that belief, you are freed from the bondage of that emotion, and you return to your high frequency. And perhaps the most important thing to remember in this process is consistency. It is not enough to reach a high frequency for just one day. You must make it a way of life, because what changes reality is not temporary excitement, but steady transformation. If you tune into that frequency every day, it is only a matter of time before the universe aligns with you. That's why on this journey, it's not just about technique, intention, awareness, and inner responsibility are essential. The moment you choose who you are, the universe begins to reflect that choice. And remember, the greatest transformation doesn't happen outside of you. It starts within. Because life is a mirror that keeps reminding you who you are. And one day, when you think nothing has changed, you realize that everything has changed. You walk the same streets, talk to the same people, look in the same mirror, but you no longer feel the same. Because your frequency has changed. You now look at life with different eyes. Things that used to wear you down no longer affect you. Situations that once made you feel small are now there to make you grow. This awareness is the awakening of your true power. But this awareness does not come from thinking alone. It comes when you start living. It shows itself in the smallest details of your daily life. How you think when you wake up in the morning. What you say to yourself when you look in the mirror. How you feel when you give money. As your relationship with your life, the universe, and even yourself changes, your environment changes too. Because you no longer shape yourself according to external conditions. External conditions take shape according to your inner form. Time is no longer just something you wait for. It is a space that expands with you, changing direction with your decisions. And life is no longer something that happens to you. It is a process that is woven with your energy, existing alongside you. To experience this, all you need to do is take small but determined steps every day. When you open your eyes in the morning, don't let your first thought be the same day again. Instead, ask yourself, who do I choose to be? Maybe you're not yet where you want to be, but are you in the energy of getting there? Focus on that. Because the journey doesn't begin when you reach that state. It begins when you start to feel that state. Today, while you're drinking your coffee, close your eyes for a few minutes and feel the life you've imagined. As if you were really there, quietly say, thank you. Because gratitude is about shifting into the frequency of ownership before you even have it. These small moments open big doors, because the universe responds to that energy, always, under any circumstances. And yes, sometimes you will fall, old beliefs will return, old habits will knock on the door, but you are no longer that person. You recognize them, but you know you don't belong to them. As you continue to let go of your old self, you make room for your new reality. Transformation doesn't happen with one big step, but with the small, consistent decisions you make every day. When you begin to feel inner peace, when you're happy without any external reason, when you feel different even though nothing seems to have changed, that's when you're there. You're on a new frequency. And now the external world has to respond to that frequency. Because the universe doesn't observe you, it picks up the vibration you emit and responds accordingly. There is no more waiting. There is no more holding back, because conditions aren't perfect. Because you are already there. The state you are in is already enough. And now when you act from that state, reality begins to align with you. This is not a coincidence. It is a law of physics. And this law has been silently observing you up until now. Now you have begun to activate it. That is precisely why today could be a day of decision. You no longer have to hold yourself back. You no longer have to underestimate your own energy. Because everything begins with your inner state. And whatever is there, your outer world becomes its mirror. When you begin to live with this awareness, you break free from the ordinary rhythm of life. Mornings smell different. People appear clearer, opportunities feel closer, because it's no longer your eyes that see, but your frequency. And this vision is the only thing that will lead you to the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, what you vibrate, you attract. What you feel, you experience. Now be there energetically, not mentally, and stay there, because when you stay there, the world will begin to change with you. But here's a truth no one tells you. Raising your vibration isn't just about feeling happy. It's like touching the codes of reality. It's about rewriting an energetic map that's invisible to the eye, but guides you every day. And this map changes not only by feeling good, but by aligning your entire being with a new frequency. Your emotions, thoughts, even your body language, all of them together begin to create a new you. Because the universe responds not only to what you think, but to what you are. The thousands of thoughts that pass through your mind only become reality when they are transformed into a vibrational state. This is where some people go wrong. They think that doing plenty of affirmations, visualizations, and writing pages of intentions is enough. But in reality, all of these serve only one purpose: vibrational alignment. And if that alignment isn't there, everything is just mental effort. Reality cannot rise without the frequency rising. It's that simple. It's that profound. So what is it that changes reality? It's not so much what your mind thinks, but what frequency band it operates on. The mind is nourished not only by information, but also by energy. If your frequency is low, your mind operates in a constant state of deficiency, inadequacy, and threat perception. But as your frequency rises, your mind begins to open up like an antenna. In those moments, intuitions come, ideas come. Opportunities knock on your door before you even take action, because the universe meets you where you are, ready. What shows you're ready is energy. Your vibration is your call. So, how do you start today? What could be that first step to truly change your life? Perhaps a decision. Perhaps no longer belittling yourself. Perhaps no longer waiting for others. Perhaps simply accepting that everything is within you. Today, waking up with this awareness could be the first morning of a brand new reality. You must open not only your eyes but also your frequency. And ask yourself, what am I radiating right now? Where is this energy taking me? Because to change your reality, you need to master your inner frequency, not just organize the external world. So yes, maybe the only thing you need to change your life is to master the art of vibration. This is not a practice, it is a way of being. It is being aware of energy in every word, every intention, every breath. Not just one day, but every day. Not just one moment, but every moment. And as you master this art, life begins to transform from within. Because now you are a being who consciously chooses your own energy. You determine what to think, what to feel, and what to create. At this point, life begins to speak to you. Through signals, synchronicities, insights. Because now you too speak its language. And this language is not made up of words, It is made up of vibrations. If you have come this far, if you are reading this, listening to this, you are only at the beginning of this journey. But perhaps you've taken the most important step, you've remembered. And now this state of remembering is not just about knowing, live it. Because real magic works with energy, not knowledge. And your energy is the most powerful tool in this world. All you need to do is choose to communicate with it, navigate with it, and exist through it. So how do you start today? How do you take that step that will truly change your life? The answer is simpler than you think, but within that simplicity lies a great secret. What you need to start today is neither a grand plan nor perfection in every aspect of your life. The only thing required to begin today is making that inner decision, saying, I no longer want to stay in the old energy. At that moment, your vibration begins to change. The vibration we're talking about isn't just something you feel, it's who you are. Your energy sends a message to the world in every moment, whether you're aware of it or not. It's not your words but your inner state that broadcasts your true frequency. If you want to shift your reality, you must first shift your energy. Ask yourself, what frequency am I tuned into today? Your mind may try to answer, but your body already knows. Tightness, lightness, heaviness, they're all signals, and the shift doesn't require anything big, just a few minutes of conscious choice. The moment you wake up, before reaching for your phone, pause, close your eyes and say, today, I choose my energy. That simple intention creates alignment. The universe doesn't respond to wants, it responds to frequency. And frequency is not what you say, it's what you live. Most people want instant results. They raise their vibration for a day, then expect their life to change. But energy requires consistency. Reality shifts slowly, but it starts the moment you do. Even if nothing outside changes at first, stay with the energy. Your new vibration is felt. People react differently. Opportunities appear. Coincidences unfold. That's resonance, not luck. And yes, your old energy will try to pull you back. Your comfort zone will whisper, this isn't you, but you'll know better. You'll choose again. I no longer choose that thought. I choose alignment. Use reminders, a word, a breath, a bracelet, to return to center. Because remembering who you're becoming is how you stay there. Now if this message resonates with you, drop this in the comments. I am in a high vibration. This isn't just a phrase, it's a signal, a declaration, a choice. Feel it as you write it, and let this be the beginning of your new frequency. See you in the next timeline.